Hello and welcome to this video all about generative AI, specifically aimed at teachers. As you're more than likely aware, over the last year, the capabilities of generative AI, artificial intelligence, Gen AI, have rapidly increased. At the same time, increasing public interest means that the public, including the education sector, are now using Gen AI more regularly, both students and teachers. In this presentation, I do intend to cover what is generative AI, how is the Department of Education in the UK addressing generative AI in education, experiences using Gen AI in education, what tools are available, exam boards and the future of Gen AI in the classroom. And throughout the video, you'll see lots and lots of pictures. These have all been done using generative AI. They've all been created, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, before we begin, a couple of videos I would suggest having a little look at. This is where I've got a lot of the information from, both from the Turing lectures. One, Mirella Lapata, What is Generative AI? And then Michael Wooldridge, The Future of Generative AI. Okay, with the topic being from the Turing lectures, How AI Broke the Internet. So I've used a prompt, what is generative AI? How does it differ from normal AI? Write this for a 10-year-old so they can understand it. Okay, so here we go. This is what the Chat GPT wrote back to me. Generative AI is like a smart computer that can make new things like drawings, stories, or music. It learns from lots of examples and then creates something similar but brand new, unique, or tries to. Normal AI is more like a computer following rules to do specific jobs, like playing a game or recognizing words. Generative AI is like a creative friend, while normal AI is more like a helpful assistant. Okay, so that's what came back. That's what, and I think it's a fantastic description, very easy to understand. You may notice there I've underlined the Z, the Z, because what normally happens, and this is how you can spot students' work if it comes back to you, if it's got lots of Zs in it, they've either plagiarized it or they've used something like generative AI, Google Bard maybe, or Chat GPT to write their work for them. So that's a good telltale sign. If there's lots of Zs in Americanized spelling, that's probably what they've done. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to use Chat GPT again, and I want it to act as my storyteller. This is called a prompt. Okay, you will come up with entertaining stories that are engaging, imaginative, and captivating for the audience. It can be a fairy tale, educational stories, or any other type of story which has the potential to capture people's attention and imagination. Depending on the target audience, you may choose specific themes or topics for your storytelling sessions, e.g. if it's for children, then you might talk about animals. If it's for adults, then history-based tales might engage them better. My first request is, I need an interesting story on perseverance. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to ChatGPT. Let's copy what I've just said into the generative AI software, and we'll click OK. Don't worry about the underlines. I've just installed Grammarly on the computer, so you'll see different things happening. So off it goes. And trust me, if everybody has a little go at this, I'm sure you will all get a unique and different story. My particular title of this one is called The Clockmaker's Apprentice. And it carries on, and there we go. So, what have we got? Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled in a valley surrounded by snow-capped mountains, lived an old clockmaker named Master Horace. Renowned for his exceptional craftsmanship, his clocks were treasured by everyone, from local villagers to distant kings. However, the most exceptional clock he ever made remained incomplete, gathering dust in his workshop. We've got a new apprentice called Theo, the enigmatic clock, the struggle, a ray of hope, the triumph, the legacy, and then in the end, and so, not to spoil it for you, but I'm going to read it. And so the story of the clockmaker's apprentice and his magnificent clock became a cherished tale, inspiring generations to face their challenges with determination and never give up, no matter how difficult the journey may seem. Okay, so if you want, I can copy that and I can put it in the description below. But please have a little go. Use the prompt if you'd like, or something similar, and see what you can come up with. So I'm going to go back into the presentation. Let's have a little look. Generative AI in Education, a November 2023 publication, Call for Evidence Summary of Responses. So the Department of Education opened a conversation with the educational sector with the launch of Call for Evidence on the use of generative AI in education. Views and experiences from practitioners across all stages of education were asked for, as well as from the educational technology, EdTech sector, and artificial intelligence AI experts. The call for evidence ran from the 14th of June to the 23rd of August, sort of when the school holidays take place, but hey-ho. So, and then this document obviously came out. And if we click on the evidence, you'll see it brings us to gov.org. Yeah, and we've got the generative call for evidence summary and responses, 44-page document. Okay, for you to have a little look at. So, what highlights, it is clear that teachers across primary and secondary and tertiary education are already beginning to see real benefits from the use of Gen AI. The responses also provide suggestions on the support that sector would find beneficial, as well as concerns on the use of Gen AI in education. The Department for Education remains committed to ensuring it does all it can to maximize these opportunities whilst addressing the risks and challenges. Okay. Opportunities highlighted by the call for evidence included freeing up teachers' time, providing additional educational support, including for pupils and students with special educational needs and disabilities, and pupils and students for whom English is an additional language, and subject-specific applications also. So, as well as that, they've also updated Keeping Children Safe in Education 2023. The department is also setting standards so that schools, colleges, and trusted leaders know what they need to do to ensure their technology is up to date, maintaining security and support online safety. The cybersecurity standards for schools and colleges, which support schools with how to build their cyber resilience, are signposted in the paper Keeping Children Safe in Education 2023. Okay, and there's a link to that as well. So here we go, addressing the concerns and risks. There were also some clear areas of concern around the use of this technology. The DFE states that it will remain alert to the risks and issues around the use of AI in education as they evolve. The most important thing for a high-quality education is having a human expert teacher in the classroom. The emergence of this technology does not change that. So please don't worry, teachers out there, please don't worry. At this moment in time, we're not looking, or certainly the DFE are not looking to replace teachers with artificial intelligence. So that's good news. A final document from the Joint Council, AI Uses and Assessment, Protecting the Integrity of Qualifications. Okay, there are strict rules in place set by exam boards to ensure pupils' work is their own. Sanctions for cheating, as always have been in terms of plagiarism, sanctions for cheating are serious, including being disqualified from a qualification. Schools and teachers know their pupils best and are experienced in identifying their individual pupils' work. The Joint Council for Qualifications published guidance earlier this year in 2023, which reminds teachers and assessors of best practice in preventing and identifying potential malpractice, applying it to the context of AI use. Okay, to harness the potential of Gen AI, people need to have the knowledge to draw on to ensure that it is presented with the right information and to make sense of the results that are generated. Access to Gen AI is not, therefore, a substitute for having a deep reservoir of subject knowledge held in your own long-term memory. Gen AI tools can make certain written tasks quicker and easier, but cannot replace the judgment and deep subject knowledge of a human expert. Experiences using Gen AI in education, what tools are available? Just some questions for you to think about yourselves. Have you or your institution used generative AI tools in education settings? Okay, if so, could you briefly describe the way it was used and the specific tools used? What were the main challenges you faced in using generative AI and how did you address these? And what was the result of your use of these tools, including any impacts? Okay, 3 questions for you to have a little think about there. Responses revealed a wide range of use of generative AI technology for education purposes. The applications identified among teachers have been grouped into the following 7 themes: creating educational resources, lessons and curriculum planning, live use in lessons, assessment, marking and feedback, administrative tasks, Gen AI skills training and AI literacy, and a big one, research. Okay, others might include proofreading, editing to improve written content, and to support coding. That's a big one. And teaching computer science, it is very, very, very useful, certainly with Java and Python. Applications amongst pupils were also reported, such as using Gen AI as a study aid and search tool. Okay, and I'm not going to go through these in their entirety, but this has been generated by Google Bard. Okay, in terms of education, what are the pros? Okay, and what are the cons of using generative AI in the classroom? Personalized learning, AI can and we've mentioned this, AI can analyze individual students, Z again, look, individual students' data and adapt learning paths, pace, and materials to their own needs. But there's an algorithmic bias. AI models can perpetuate existing biases in data, leading to unfair learning experiences for certain groups. Okay, there may be a bias. So there's a couple, but please pause the video, have a look at that if you want to go through those. Okay, we move on. So here are 4 of the best tools. Google Bard now has been replaced by Gemini, and we'll see that in a moment. But we've got ChatGPT, Google Bard, Perplexity, and Meet Claude. Okay, and I'm going to show you some examples. We've used ChatGPT, but I'm going to show you some examples of how we could use these. So for Google Bard, if I click on this, it will take me to Gemini. Okay, and I can do all sorts of things, revise my writing and fix my grammar, brainstorm teams, various other things like this. Very, very good. Perplexity, again, we have a prompt and we're writing some words in here. And Meet Claude. And Claude we can chat to, and we can log in with Google or your email address, and we can type in things for Claude. And we'll go through some examples. So using Perplexity for this, I want you to act as a motivational coach. I will provide you with some information about someone's goals and challenges, and it will be your job to come up with strategies that can help this person achieve their goals. This could involve providing positive affirmations, giving helpful advice, or suggesting activities they can do to reach their end goal. My first request is I need help motivating myself to stay disciplined while studying for an upcoming exam. Okay, Perplexity, give me some motivation. So in I go, and copy the text in here, and let's see what it says. So straight away, it's come up with 10 different strategies. Okay, so set clear goals. Okay, I'm excited to help you stay motivated and disciplined while studying for your upcoming exams. Here are some strategies that can help you. So set clear goals, create a study schedule, use the Pomodoro technique, eliminate distractions, reward yourself, get support, practice self-care, celebrate small wins, stay positive, review and reflect. Remember, staying disciplined and motivated while studying takes time and effort, but with the right strategies and mindsets, you can achieve your goals and perform well on your exams. Okay, so that's Perplexity. Now, something a little bit controversial, but I'm going to use Google Bard or Gemini, and I'm going to get it to write me a set of reports. I want you to help me write a set of reports on my grade 7 maths students. The report should be no more than 500 words and talk a little bit about how the students have performed, what they have been working on, and set them a clear target. Here are the student names: Jane, John, Jake, Jill, Joan, Jessica. So Jake, this is the J class. James and Jimmy. These are the grades. Whether they are male, female, or prefer not to say, use him, she, they pronouns. They have recently completed the following work: rounding, decimal places, nearest place value, positive powers, index notation, multiplication and division of powers of 10, evaluate numbers in an index form. And some of the key skills I've included here. So I'm going to go back into Gemini. I'm going to go and gather my prompt. So my prompt's in here. So copy the words into here. Let's submit this. So general comment. This past term we've been exploring the fascinating world of numbers. We've covered rounding techniques, positive powers, also known as index notation, and working with powers of 10. Remember, a strong foundation in these areas is crucial for future success in maths. And we've got the key skills, and then we've created individual reports. Now, these are quite short. Can we please double the size of each of these individual reports? Okay, so yeah, absolutely. So now we've got a little bit more. Jane, fantastic job. You've consistently demonstrated a strong grasp of rounding techniques. It is evidence that you've put in the effort and it pays off. To further solidify your understanding, let's explore index notation in more depth. Practice evaluation expressions written in index form. Don't hesitate to ask questions or use online resources if you get stuck. Okay, so there's Jane. And then Jake, the prefer not to say. You've grasped the core concepts of rounding, powers of 10 and index. Keep building your confidence by consistently practicing these skills. To further shapen your skills with index notation, consider working on additional practice problems beyond what's assigned in class. Challenge yourself with different types of expressions to solidify your understanding. Joan, don't worry, improvement is just around the corner. Jessica's phenomenal. James, let's work together. So a set of reports, nice and simple, just by using the prompts. As you've probably noticed with this, the more detail you put into the prompt, the better the results you're going to get. I'm just going to take this over to Chat GPT, and we'll create another one and see what this comes up with. And Chat GPT's obviously listened a little bit harder and has come up with what looks like more like 500 words as opposed to what Gemini came up with. So there we go. Okay, so have a play around and see which one works better for you if you want to use this. I'm not suggesting you use this, but if you would like to. In the second section, Adobe Firefly, you may have seen the video, I'll put the link below. Beautiful, beautiful what Adobe are doing in terms of mixing with Adobe Photoshop and typing in now, generating various things. Will create images within documents you're already working on. Beautiful. But the one I want to show you is what Microsoft are doing with something called Image Creator. So if I go here, we've got lots of ideas here, and if I roll over them, a picnic on a green meadow with a basket of fruits and flowers. Okay, but you can write anything you want. So let's think about a classroom full of engaged students in France studying French history. It is a beautiful summer day, spelled wrong, sorry. Beautiful summer day, create. So let's see what comes up. So I'll click on create, it goes away, thinks about it, and it starts to generate our images. It usually generates 4 images, and depending on how many people are using it at one time. So here we go, and it gives us our results. So we're studying French history with lots of helicopters flying over the Eiffel Tower. Obviously in France, lots of people are eating croissants as they're studying, and of course lots of people wear striped shirts. Very stereotypical. Here we go, some more people studying. What a beautiful looking out over the Seine, and the Eiffel Tower has moved to nearer to the Seine. But you can sort of see that you can sort of tell that you're in France. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, now what I could do, a classroom, beautiful day in the Impressionist style, E.G for Fauvism. And now we've got something a little bit more colourful, a little more book illustrative. Okay, very, very nice outdoor classroom. Yeah, for some reason the students have quadrupled in size. Look at this, wow. Okay, incredible. Now we can generate some beautiful magic. What an incredible picture. I'll let you have a play with those on your own. And we've got a few other things: QuizGecko, animated drawings, create your own songs, write a song, character AI, talking to famous people, and Skyspace. To help you understand research papers better, it can explain and elaborate most academic texts in simple words. But QuizGecko, if I go here, okay, and I'm going to create a quiz. But this one is beautiful because we can quickly turn any web page or YouTube video into a quiz. So if I go to YouTube, okay, so I've just gone into YouTube and to a little video I've created on using maths in Python programming for O-level students. So I'm going to copy the URL, or I can simply click on share. Yeah, copy the URL, and then back into create a new quiz. Okay, click on the URL I've just typed in. I want to generate a multiple choice, so true or false. We're going to do true or false. Medium difficulty. Let's do 10 questions, and let's generate. So it goes away, visits the URL, or that's what it's telling me it's doing. Thinks about it, thinks about it, thinks about it. And this is reading from a video. Okay. And here we go. The pow function returns the value of x to the power of y and also calculates the square root. Is that true or false? Okay, with power. So that would be false, and it gives us a sort of a correct and tells us why. Okay. The min-max functions can be used to find the lowest and highest values in a list. Well, that's true. Okay, and we can carry on going down, and it generates a beautiful, beautiful little list for us. Okay, and we can export that as a text file, PDF questions, print a worksheet, and there we go. It's created a little quiz sheet for us with 10 questions. And we could export that into something like Google Forms. Okay, so the beautiful, beautiful tool there. I'm just going to quickly click on song R. Okay, we'll do a pop song. Enter keywords for the AI lyrics. Computer science, Mr. Bulmer, studying for exams, trying their best, always happy. Okay, generate some lyrics. Okay, in the room, Screens aglow, typing fast in the flow. Mr. Bulmer says, learn your code. It's the seed you must sow. A raisin loops in my mind. And it goes on. So a nice little, like a poem title. We'll just call it computer science. And we'll get Natalie. Choose Natalie. Natalie can sing it. And if we click on play.
In the room, screams aglow, typing fast in the flow. Mr. Bulmer says, learn your code, it's the seed you must sow. A raisin loose in my mind, studying hard, facts to find.
Oh, okay.
Give this step world a chance, all night long. Books in a dress for exams.
Okay, so there we go. That's song R. Absolutely brilliant. An ideal end of year or assembly activity done with that one. Okay, so there's a few more to have a little go at there. Another little tip with these tools. I personally have written a little book. I've used Chat GPT to write the story of Lars the Fisherman and the Greatest Salmon, and then I've used the Microsoft image generator to generate some pictures. And if we go to Amazon, I don't think it's doing particularly well. We've got a wonderful little story about Lars the Fisherman and the Greatest Salmon. Okay, set in the Norwegian fjords. And there's another little task you could have a go at, publishing Kindle books. Back to the presentation. Obviously in the news, when ChatGPT first came out, certain countries around the world, including Italy, decided to ban it, put a block on it, and they lifted that ban back in April 2023. Okay, there's all sorts of other things you may have seen on YouTube, lots of things from Elon Musk about his fears in terms of generative AI, not necessarily in the classroom, but its uses and the dangers and various things. So we watch this space and why ChatGPT is an opportunity for schools. So something published in the educational supplement of the Times, where Matt Glanville talks about the opportunities rather than the risks of ChatGPT in the classroom and how we should be embracing this technology. Okay, part 4, what do the exam boards think? Well, the Cambridge exam board suggests that to support teachers, we encourage schools to review the school's academic honesty and approaches to learning policies to ensure teachers talk with students about how and when large language models, such as ChatGPT and generative AI, can be used. We are not recommending banning the use of these tools, but students need to be clear about what they can be used for and when they must not be used. They must also understand how they should be referencing. Okay, there's a little guide here. So what the exam board is saying in terms of misuse, AI tools must only be used when the conditions of the assessment permit the use of internet and where the student is able to demonstrate that the final submission is the product of their own independent work and independent thinking. Examples of AI misuse could include, but not limited to, copying or paraphrasing sections of AI-generated content so that the work is no longer the student's own, copying or paraphrasing whole responses of AI-generated content, using AI to complete parts of their assessment so that the work does not reflect the student's own work, analysis, evaluation, or calculations, failing to acknowledge the use of AI tools when they have been used as a source of information, incomplete or poor acknowledgement of AI tools, submitting work with intentionally incomplete or misleading references or bibliographies. Okay, what the exam boards are trying to do to prevent it, or what they're asking schools to do to try and prevent it: consider restricting access to online AI tools on centre devices and networks, ensure that access to online AI tools is restricted on centre devices used for exams, set reasonable deadlines for submissions of work and provide reminders, where appropriate, allocating time for sufficient portions of work to be done in class under direct supervision to allow the teacher to authenticate each student's work, basically going back to pen and paper. Examine intermediate stages of the production of work in order to ensure that work is underway in a planned and timely manner and that work submitted represents a natural continuation of earlier stages. So some interesting ways of identifying AI misuse, such as spelling and punctuation, grammatical usage, writing style and tone, vocabulary, complexity and coherency, general understanding and working level, the mode of production, whether handwritten or word processed. Okay, there are some great plagiarism tools. You're probably all familiar with Turnitin, but OpenAI classifier GPT-0 and GLTR are all great tools for identifying and spotting the use of AI. So it might be worthwhile running work through some of these. Okay, but that's it. So I hope it's been a fairly long video. I hope you've gained something from that. If you need any further assistance, if you need any more links or any more advice, please let me know. And good luck, and bye for now. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks for watching.